I'm ready for bed. Before I go to bed, I gotta make sure I clean my hearing aids nicely so I'm ready for tomorrow. So, I'm gonna take out my hearing aids. First I turned it off by just flipping the switch down. Take my hearing aids off. Open it. Take the hearing aid battery out because I'm gonna put it in the dry aid kit. When I put it in the dry aid kit, I can't have my hearing aid battery in. So, one of the first things I like to do every night before I go to bed is I like to brush off the microphones because sometimes the microphone is where we're hearing the sound. So my microphone's right there. I'm going to take a brush, and like I said, the microphone's where the sound's coming in. So we don't want any dust or anything to block that. So I like to brush over the microphone nicely just to make sure that's not blocked at all. Then I like to look at the ear mold just to see maybe if there's any wax or any blockage in the tubing. Mine looks pretty good, but on the other side of most brushes there's a little metal pick. And I use that metal pick sometimes just to maybe so I go in just to get some of, if there's any wax or anything in there, just to make sure. And see, I got a little piece out. That could be a little bit of blockage. Then I take a cloth. I usually wipe around it just to make sure it's nice and clean. Nothing's gonna block any sound. To put this back in there, I always keep the battery in my hearing aid case just so I know where it is the next morning, and just to make sure any pets or any siblings don't get at my batteries if I leave them out on the counter. So I always like to leave them in the case. And remember, you put your hearing aids in the dry aid kit every night. It's best to do that because gives it the best chance that'll be working fine tomorrow morning. So everybody has different dry aid kits. There's many different kinds. This is mine. So I open it up. There's a little foam pad on top of there. I take my hearing aid without the battery. I put it on top of there, close it, and leave it for the night. Another thing I like to do sometime before I go to bed is I like to test my battery to make sure it's going to be ready for tomorrow. So we have the battery tester. I take the battery, and now I take the round side and I put it down. So again, the flat side's up, so the smooth side's up, just like when we put our hearing aids in the hearing aid battery door. So I take it and I put it down right where it tells me to. So there's an arrow, so you can see there's an arrow pointing to where I need to put the battery down. So I put it down on there, and now I press. And you see when I press it down, you can see that the black bars go all the way up to the top where the check mark is. So that means my battery is good, it's fully charged, it should be ready to go tomorrow. And when I let go, you see it goes all the way down. When I put it on and press, the power bar goes all the way up to the top pretty much. So we're good to go for tomorrow. I'll put this down, put this in there, shut it, and it's time to go to bed. Okay, well.